Good afternoon and welcome to Tell the Truth, a brand new segment that we're doing here at Grace at the Cross, combined ministry of Amazing Grace Lutheran Church in Waxhaw, North Carolina, and Crossroads Lutheran Church in Indian Land, South Carolina. It's good to be together this afternoon for a brand new thing that we're doing. And to tell you the truth, I'm really not sure what the Spirit's up to here, but I tell you what I do know is that the Spirit has led me to think about how we as a church should be that place where people can come together and have conversation and dialogue and learn from each other and talk to one another. And it's been hard to do that in this pandemic. And so I wanted to provide some space to be able to do that, because I don't know about you, but I do a lot of thinking, and I have particular places that the Spirit spurs up in me a time of thinking and wrestling and questioning. One of those places is right here in the car when I'm waiting in line or I'm driving. One of those places, this is it, where I have some quiet time when the kids are not with me and I could just think and reflect on some things. And, another thing that came up, I'm reading a book about being the church in a digital age, and what I really learned from the first part of the book is that the way in which people learn today, where it used to be that one aspect of learning was from conversation and dialogue and discussion and learning from each other, that way of learning is diminishing greatly. More people are learning from Google and from their own independent research than we are from each other. And so this space, to tell the truth, is a space to learn from each other and to wrestle with life's big questions and big questions of the faith, to talk about personal questions if you want to, or silly questions that we don't really have a clear answer to. This is this space. So use the comments below to wrestle with each question this week. Also, if you'd like to submit a question, whether it be a question about life, a question about family, a question about faith or religion, whatever it is, there'll be a link below in the comments on how you can submit an anonymous question that we can tackle 1 week on To Tell the Truth. And this will happen every Tuesday afternoon at 4:00 right here on the Facebook page. So I'd invite you to tune in. If you're not able to make it at that time, you can watch it anytime. It'll be here forever, right? Because that's the way social media works. So why, oh why, did I think about this title, To Tell the Truth? Well, to tell the truth, I know it's a game show, right? And it's kind of resurfaced after some time. My paternal grandfather, was on the game show To Tell the Truth back in the day. He was the chief of police for the small town of Claremont, North Carolina. And we have an audio recording of his time on that game show, and the famous ending where they say, would the real whoever it is please stand up, so you can hear the game show host saying, would the real George Tucker please stand up? And he does, after all that time of answering questions and trying to disguise himself as the real George Tucker. So, I thought about that, and I thought about that experience and my family tie to that game show, and how people are not asking those questions and learning from each other in dialogue and discussion. Rather, we're using Google to inform our life, our big questions, our faith. I can't imagine space where we cannot be in dialogue and discussion. So that's why we have this space to tell the truth. And I thought about our question for today, and I've already received some. I'd love to receive some more questions, so send them in. But the question today is, where do you turn to most frequently when you have a question? It can be a question about faith, about life, about the church, about what it means to be a Christian or Lutheran. Where do you turn to? Is it Google? Is it your church family, your pastor? Is it other friends? Is it a book? Where do you turn to most? And to tell you the truth, I don't know. I don't know where the best place to turn might be. But I do know that God created us to be in community together. And that's looked a lot different over these last almost 12 months now in pandemic, when we can't be physically together in person. We've had to create a new norm of a new community. And unfortunately, it's the communities existed through our technology devices, our cell phones and our computers, our tablets. But nonetheless, community is still there, and we're still called to be together in community, especially as we have questions, especially as we are in search of answers, and when we're feeling the Spirit of the Lord laid upon us in some way, leading us in some direction. And I think more than ever, we have to be open and willing to accept this new way of community. And I think that's what this segment's all about. So take a moment, think about when you have a big question, or when you're wrestling with something. Where do you turn? Where do you turn for help with an answer? Where do you turn to seek advice? Where do you turn to get answers? And I hope we can start a conversation here on this thread about this topic and about this question. Where do you turn? Where do you turn? So take a moment, think about it, put it in the comment section below, and let's start a dialogue on how we can be community together and help one another wrestle with the big questions that we have in life, in faith, in church, whatever it may be. God bless you all, and I hope you will tune in each and every week to Tell the Truth. I'll see you right here next week, next Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Thanks so much. God bless.